Lucy.
Kat.
Una.
I'm Penelope.
Zora.
Quinn.
My name is Samantha.
First name is Rio. I am bisexual.
I identify as gay.
I identify as queer and gender non-conforming, questioning.
I am a bisexual female.
Gay.
Gay.
I identify as a female, a woman, and I identify as being a lesbian.
Sexually, I guess queer, and gender also queer.
When I was much younger, I never really thought twice about my body.
As a very young kid, I wasn't self-conscious about it. I think I hadn't been exposed to enough media or stereotypes to be conscious about it.
My whole life I was kind of like made fun of for the way that I look and move around spaces, but like I didn't take much offense to it. I've never been super body positive.
Since I was like maybe in first grade, I wanted to have more masculine clothing and more masculine hair. My parents said that it would look silly.
I felt like if I was a girl, I had to present myself in like this very feminine way, which I didn't want to do.
I don't think I really did that because I thought I wanted to be a guy. I just didn't really think that I fit fully into where I was placed.
When I was really little, I think it was just like, oh, I don't necessarily look like other people, and I don't know how to feel about that. And now it's a little bit more specific to different traits about my body, or, you know, ways that I present myself.
When I cut my hair for the first time, people asked if I was a lesbian, and at the time I wasn't comfortable in my identity, so I would always be like, no, I'm not gay.
I think I started getting the most insecure around 7th grade.
I think that starting in middle school probably I was really insecure in my body. It just didn't feel right, didn't feel like me. I wanted to be different, I wanted to have a different body. So I started changing other parts of myself, the parts that I still could control. I dyed my hair when I was like 15. I bleached all of it at one point, cut it really short.
As I got older, as I grew up, I started, being teased about, being the fat kid at my old school.
I was really thin as a kid. Once I finally started, maturing, my body started filling out more, and it was kind of scary and difficult for me to realize that I turned out to be kind of the chubby kid in class.
The way I look at all the other girls in my gymnastics, who a lot of them are super buff and have this one type of body, has really contributed to a lot of my insecurities.
Now I've kind of found a happy place, even though I've struggled through numerous things with my body.
There was never really a point where I started feeling okay about my body. It wasn't like I woke up one morning and decided like, hey, I'm awesome. But I think that right now in my life I'm really comfortable with where I am and with who I am. I came out as a lesbian in 2015, and that sort of made some of the disliking that I had for my body a little bit more specific. Things sort of started to center around like my height or, my thighs or my hair and stuff like that. And I think now that I've been exploring gender more and how that relates to my identity, that has also begun to be a little bit more specific and a little bit more dysphoric. But some days, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to have anything on my chest other than like being flat, but then other days I like think that it's fine, so it really depends. I discovered that I like girls when I was 15. I just started to feel like I had to be really feminine in order to make it kind of balance out.
There's a certain stereotype that you have to live up to, or you're expected to live up to, as someone who's in the queer community.
There are a lot of assumptions as to what a queer person would look like.
Sometimes I kind of feel like I have to fit into a certain stereotype. Like I gotta be like more masculine, or like lift weights, or like go out and buy a motorcycle.
I'm very self-conscious about the way that I look and just what people might think, and I'll never know.
I don't think I look like your classic high school girl. So I worry about judgment a lot, and also just kind of like I get mistaken for a 12-year-old boy a lot, which kind of sucks.
Older people, they like will whisper to each other like, is that a man or like a woman? I kind of just do whatever I feel like doing, but it definitely does affect how people look at me, and I can tell.
In 8th grade, I would walk into a room and be quiet and go to the corner because I felt like everybody was judging me. Once I got to Westridge, I kind of found who I was and felt very comfortable just talking about my identity, which has helped me in overall life of being comfortable just talking to people and telling them who I am.
My least favorite thing about my body is probably like my stomach.
I really dislike my thighs, and I really dislike the way my face goes red when I laugh too hard.
I don't like my nose. And I feel like it's kind of like big and it's like a giant circle.
My limbs. I think that I always look like a spider. They're too prickly and scary. I just don't like the way that they work and move around space.
Aspects of my face, I'm very self-conscious about my nose and the way that my face is kind of a circular shape.
I don't really like my feet. They look pretty weird, and also a lot of times I don't like that I have breasts.
I have this weird, very large rib cage.
There's a gap, essentially, like where my rib cage is, and it looks really weird, and that's why I don't wear two-piece swimsuits ever or any kind of short shirts or anything like that.
I have a lot of like height and chest related dysphoria that I've sort of been working through for a while.
I don't know if this is my favorite thing, but I used to get made fun of a lot for my cheeks because I have really big puffy cheeks and it makes me look kind of younger than I am sometimes, but now I actually love them so much.
I like my eyes, and I really like my smile.
I like my smile. I used to have braces so I'd hide my teeth, but now I don't have braces and people say I have a nice smile. So I like that.
I like my eyes even though they don't work too well. I am myself. My face is pretty identifiable in a crowd.
My thighs, I'm actually really proud of them now. I have this ownership of like, these are my legs, I love them.
I really like my eyes. They're pretty cool.
I have been told that I have really good legs.
I like my eyes. My arms have been becoming more defined just through like grit and hard work, and I'm very proud of that. I appreciate the way that I carry myself, you know, with power.
I have the body that I have, and I can't really have it changed or replaced, and I was born with it, and I'm the only person that looks like me.
It's worth it for me to feel comfortable in my own skin.
I think that as I sort of figure out more things about my identity, there's also a lot more pride.
You know, like you can change your hair, you can change, you know, certain smaller things about yourself, and that's fine. I think that's good. You know, if you want to put on makeup one day and look a little different, then that's great. The parts of you that you can't change, it's also the hardest things about yourself to accept, but I think that once you do, it's awesome.